Why should people kill one another just because we cannot agree on who occupies a certain office temporarily? Because we are talking of temporary occupation of offices. The only one who is a bit permanent is Sawata, but all the others are.
Bobi Wine came out to reveal the hypocrisy of General Kaguta Museveni when he came out to say that His Excellency General Kaguta Museveni has broken each and every rule that he used to stand for before the 1986. When General Museveni was going to power, part of the reason as to why he went to the bush was the rigging of the 86 election. Okay? And he even came out to reveal the very many reasons as to why he had to do that job, like human rights abuses, electoral violence, unconstitutionalism. And ladies and gentlemen, right now he has done each and everything that he used to fight against. There is no one thing that General Museveni used to accuse his predecessors that he has not done. In fact, there is a video I made. I tasked the viewers to tell me one thing that were done by the previous administration that he has not done, and I even put a prize of 1 million, but they failed. So Bobi Wine in a tweet came out to say, imagine if the Museveni in this video made Museveni of today study the dangers he warned about when leaders overstay their welcome are unfolding before our eyes. The good news is that together with millions of other Ugandans, we are committed to ending this cycle, securing the peaceful democratic transition that he once claimed to stand for. That is the tweet which was done by Bobi Wine. Bobi Wine claiming to say that Museveni has broke each and every rank and the foundation that he used to stand for when he was going to the bush. In fact, when you put the Museveni of today and the Museveni of 1980, they are enemies. And now he's running a country using relatives who, by the way, most of them are incompetent. You know, Museveni in his youthful days used to have a lot of tenacity about the state. Right now, it's no longer the same. In fact, when Bobi Wine was speaking about this, he made this video. Let me first play it as General Museveni was talking about this, that overstaying in power is a problem. Here's a tape.
Or in Kenya, or in Angola. Why should people kill one another just because we cannot agree on who occupies a certain office temporarily? Because we are talking of temporary occupation of offices. The only one who is a bit permanent is Sawata, but all the others are. All the others are temporary. 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. Should that really cause a disruption of society just to decide who does something for 5 years? What is so? See? So in the case of Uganda, I can assure you that, and already we have demonstrated it. We have had elections 3 times since we came from the bush, and there were no problem.
So in that video, you clearly see that General Museveni is coming out to say that for the 5 years for one to lead, it must not be a disruption, meaning that it must not be violent. But the past 3 elections, they have been the most violent, with the 2021 being one of the most violent under General Kaguta Museveni, because they used a lot of money to beat people. They used a lot of money to fight the support of Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. So you clearly see that he is running away from what he used to believe in. General Museveni used to do a lot of speech. When you would hear him speak, you would clearly see that he has a future of the nation. In fact, the people who first contested against him, like in 1996, they were born to fail. Even me, if you take me back in 1996, maybe I would have voted for him based on what he spoke about, based on how he handled the Bush War up to 1986 when he came to power. But he has failed. Let's continue with the video.
There's no violence. There were some people trying to bring back the old politics, but they were handled very, very, very nicely, and there was no violence. So I'd like to emphasize that.
So even in that video, you can see the lady in yellow is Miriam Matembe, Besigye is at the back, and I think others, I'm not sure of who they are. But I'm sure that all these people are sitting down there. If they are alive, they broke ranks with him. Some were dead. Kizza Besigye is now in jail for those who keep on speaking firmly again for NRM, you clearly see that one of the founders is in jail for because fictitious charges were preferred against him. Miriam Matembe is also in the court trying to fight for good governance. Okay? So you clearly see that even those who stood with are now are no longer with him. Let's continue.
Peaceful transfer of power is part of civilization. The more backward you are politically, the more turbulence you get when you get changes. That means you don't know how to handle civil affairs. So you resort to brute force. We had to use brute force the other time because Obote did not allow us to grade things. We tried to appeal to Obote, please, let's have good elections. He thought he was very clever, that he knows how to play games and I don't know what. I said, my friend, if you don't accept arbitration here, by dialogue, there is where we shall arbitrate. We shall go to another arbitration board. Because here we can discuss. What is the problem? He could not accept. He thought he was very smart. And we gave him a lesson. We have taught all these reactionaries a lesson in Uganda. We have taught them a lesson that they should be civilized and talk through the mouth, not use guns which they don't even make. They don't make a single gun, but they are fond of using guns. They can't make one bullet. So, I would like to reiterate that Uganda is committed to the national resistance movement. I cannot speak for all Ugandans, there are other Ugandans, but for the ones in NRM who have been supporting NRM, I can say that we support progress, we support civilization. We believe that Africans are mature people, but they are being misrepresented by a small layer of people whom they have not been able to get rid of.
So that is General Kaguta Museveni as he was speaking about the overstay of power, about leaders using guns, about unconstitutionalism. Now, if you put it on the flip side, one, every elections here in Uganda, most especially the past 3 elections, they have been controlled by the barrel of the gun. In 2021, we saw the biggest spender in an election as the army was containing Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Right now, one of the biggest opposition leaders, Kizza Besigye, is in jail because of politics. Because nobody can lie to you that Kizza Besigye is in jail because of the right things. The good thing, even the Constitution tells us that anyone is guilty until the courts of law declare otherwise. So General Museveni has broken each and every pillar that he used to stand for when it comes to democracy and human rights. He has done each and every bad thing he used to accuse the previous regime to do. I've ever done a video saying that if anyone among my viewers can come out to tell me one thing that General Museveni has not done that he used to accuse others for doing bad, and I put almost 1 million, they failed. Because if it's about the human rights abuses, if it's about they had the panda girl, now they have drones, they have abductions, they have detention without trial, they have a criminal justice system, it is even worse. In fact, it's a duty for all Ugandans to understand that our country can be made better by us. It's time to wake up, to tell General Museveni that he's going in a wrong path. To an extent of now the family is running the country. It is family business instead of being a state business. And for me, when sometimes I speak about the transition of my country, I feel like crying because it's going to reach a day, it will be a day in those days that the country will blow up. People will start fighting each other. There will be a civil war because of the poor politics that is being played in the country. And all of us are going to be victims. If we don't wake up to put our house in order, it's where we're heading. Of course, that's one opinion. Remain yours truly, Mr. Makindi Kabye Sulaiman Mawaga, the next MP for Makindi East constituency. I'll see you on another one. Peace.